Okay, hey everyone, Mystic Magic here, and welcome to another episode of the our coverage of the Neopets plot. Now, I decided to use today to kind of just do a kind of a recap of all the things that we've seen before. I mentioned it a couple times. I don't know how many of anybody who's watching is has been following it and all the little teasers that have been happening with the new plot, The Void Within. So I figured it'd be kind of cool to just do like a video to kind of just do a recap. Plus, since I actually missed one of the days, I didn't release a video on the exact day that the comic came out. But I figured it'd be a good idea to just do it now. To use that slot to kind of just do a explanation as to all the teasers that have been happening, because it does kind of it could potentially hint on what we are going to see in the future. And there's a couple of really interesting things. And I was kind of re-looking back, and I realized some of the kind of theories that I had from before are semi. I don't want to say confirmed, but it's like connected to what I was saying in some of the previous videos. So I figured it's good to kind of go back, and also just to kind of make us back on track with the number of releases. So the number of videos equals the number of releases or something. I don't know if we're going to keep up. I'm going to keep this up. It really depends on my schedule, but let's just use this video to just talk about what has been released so far. Okay, so I'm going to be using Jelly Neo because, again, they just organize things so nicely, and they have everything all together in one, so I don't have to jump between links, um, so that we don't have to look at so many links for it. So this was actually the first teaser we ever got for Void Within, which was July 17th, 2023. This was around the time of the when we got the announcement that Neopets is now independent and that they are no longer under NetDragon, that they are now independent. So for those of you who are wondering, wait, aren't they still under NetDragon and all that? Just know that the ownership of Neopets has been very complicated. Just know that they are now pretty much independent, and they're all doing their own thing. If you want to check out the whole thing, there's like a whole video, and there's like a bunch of information that sums up what they plan to do in Neopets. So if you haven't seen those, definitely check those out. Okay, so this was the teaser that we got from it, that Void Within was going to come early 2024. Okay, and we got the new character Nyx, like the silhouette of this character right here. Okay. And there are a bunch of other teasers, like we just got mentions from social media, all that. That was the earliest that we got. Okay. The next part that we got with the plot, specifically the plot, was actually, and I was kind of off a little bit. I thought it was Advent Calendar, that was the first time, but actually it was Fairy Festival, which was a little bit before. I don't remember the exact date Fairy Festival was. It's one of the later events. It wasn't Altador Cup, so it was after Altador Cup and then Fairy Festival. I actually participated in this one. I just forgot to do the last day because I was busy. But basically, this was the comic that was released. And the cool thing is that we have Vira here. So that's why Vira's involved here. I do like that she's upside down. That's like her thing, you know? Okay. And then also, let's see. So, poison flowers. So this was part of the event. It was the whole, like, trying to get the fairies against each other and all that. Um, let's see. And then there was Vile. I believe she's referencing Clavica's Vile. Oh my god, not Clavica's Vile. Um, Malka's Vile? Clavica's Vile's from Elder Scrolls. Malka's Vile, who's a Skeeth, and he was like one of the. He's like from previous plots and stuff. Okay. I think she's mentioning that character. Um, let's see. And then she's talking about causing Fiora kind of anxieties, I guess, whatever that means. Okay. She will prepare mentally but won't turn her soul, convincing herself that she shouldn't worry others until she's absolutely certain. Although letting a sense of gnawing dread to take root in the recesses of her mind. Come, the seed we planted long ago finally sprouted and is ready to bear fruit. There's much to do. Okay, so this character here. So we were hoping it was the Darkest Fairy, but it's not. She's actually. Okay, so There we go. Book of Ages. Thank you. Uh, Drakara, okay, who's this fairy, right? So she actually appears in the 2008 Premium collectible cards, which is so interesting that it's her. Now we know this is not Darkest Fairy because of the way you see the horn outlines that we see on the hood. Yeah. So, and also this kind of part of the forehead. There's like a little thing right here. I that's probably this part of her forehead. Now the interesting thing is that yeah, so the last time we got her was in the card, so this is the only image we got. Um, I'm not sure where they got the confirmation that this is this character, but it's not the Darkest Fairy. Okay, so she's talking a lot about in this comic, really interesting, um, that basically they were trying to get the fairies to kind of have a rift with each other. Specifically, it was Illicent and Jadora, which if you are into Neopets fandom, you know that they are a very popular couple, shall we say, of Neopets. So it was a lot just like them. They always have like these, like basically having them bicker with each other, you know. But everybody, of course, ships them. So, but the interesting thing is that she's not talking about them per se, but Fiora, and that Fiora is kind of wanting her to be worried about stuff, cursing her with sleepless nights, so anxiety, which is very interesting because one of the things about Neopets is that they don't necessarily like force isn't always like the main threat. A lot of the enemies, a lot of the villains are based off of more abstract stuff. So a lot of them are based off of like doubt. There's a lot of doubt with a lot of the villains. So a lot of them are abstract. Like, for example, I'm trying to think of some. There's so many. It like if we talk about Cass, Lord Cass, right? His whole thing was that he was being tormented with visions and nightmares, right? That was part of his whole thing. Yes, that he's evil and all that stuff, but he was being manipulated, right? There's a lot of manipulation in a lot of the Neopets plots. Yeah, I think that's the better word to say. Manipulation. The Darkest Fairy as well. There's always her backstory is a lot of that nightmares plagued her. It was like something like that related to nightmares, and that these nightmares, it seems to be part of the Neopets, the Darkest Fairy as well. Those of any Neopet who was possessed under the dark clouds, which is the Darkest Fairy's power, talk about nightmares and like horrible things happening in their minds, right? So there's a lot of that in Neopets lore, that a villain would manipulate someone's anxieties or fears or nightmares, right? So this is what it sounds like is going on here. Okay, and we can see right here that that paintbrush that we saw, that we're seeing in these promos, is actually there. So, right, so maybe the gray has something to do with that, and we've seen this before. Like we've seen it with the yellow mist, which is from, I can't remember which plot right now, but also we see it in Darkest Fairy with the clouds, right? Some sort of thing that's causing like anxiety or fear or nightmares or something like that. In this case, it's causing gray, which is, I guess, depression. Um, so we'll see. Anxiety, maybe depression. I'm not sure. What's interesting is that and let me go ahead and find this page real quick here, in the side here. Yeah. Okay. I went ahead and just found it. It cut for a second there. When they actually released the kind of an FAQ in the news post that mentions, will there be this part here, will there be any trigger warnings for sensitive content? And let's see, within will explore include mental health, abandonment, identity, community, family, and inclusion/exclusion. So I feel like some of these themes very much does align with a lot of the previous plots. But that interesting part of the inclusion and exclusion right here, if Fiora is being manipulated by this fairy, by Drakara, right, to feel like anxieties, insecurities, right? She will prepare mentally but won't dare tell another soul. That part is very much, it feels like this part, the inclusion, exclusion part that they're mentioning in the triggers here. Mental health, abandonment, identity, community, family, etc. Yeah, see, that's all part of this too. So that's very common with the Neopets plot. So I think this is what we're going to be seeing with this plot. Okay, like the comic pretty much confirms it, but also like that part as well. Um, okay, so the next thing that we got was in the 2023 trick or treating stuff. Excerpts of books were found at the bag locations, which mentioned several established villains and their experiences with the Void. Most notable is Vira's entry, location 6, which she snuck into the collection of tales, right? Which I'm kind of upset. I actually missed it. I actually completely forgot about this event. I was so busy at the time. I just completely missed it. But check out like the bags. So here's the Darkest Fairy. So this actually sums up the lore for the Darkest Fairy. Okay, so until the Darkest Fairy, one of the 12 founders of Altador fell from grace, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I love the way they write the lore for the Darkest Fairy and like the Altador characters. It's so cool. Let's see. Yeah, so her whole thing was betrayal. Okay. It actually tells the story of the Darkest Fairy, the video game as well. So Tor and Roberta right here. Okay. Right, okay. So here's the events of Darkest Fairy. So Darkest Fairy, and then this is the event of Fairy's Ruin, the ending of Fairy's Ruin. Fall of Fairyland, the Darkest Fairy escaped. Okay. So this was Wraith Resurgence as well. Wraith Resurgence and Fairy's Ruin. Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of hints that she's up to something. So here's her trick or treat bag. Space weaponry. This is Dr. Sloth. Okay, so I think his is probably going to be... I'm going to skim it super quick. Again, I haven't read these until now. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. So it's like in the point of view of a sloth... was it? A fanatic. Which is cool. It's almost like a cult. Almost, it's really cool the way they do Sloth. Okay, so I don't know if Sloth's gonna be involved, but he's there. Marasite Marvels. Let's see which one is this one. Scarblade. Okay, cool. So this is Curse of Maraqua. That's cool. So it has. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Is it like in his point of view? Yes, okay. I was strong enough not only to wipe New Maraqua off the face of the planet, but all of Neopets wish. Okay, yeah, so it's in the point of view of Scarblade, I'm assuming, because it is his. It's not the other guy. I forget his name right now. So Scarblade, that's him. I don't know if Scarblade, because Maraqua is... We saw the Kelpbeard's... King Kelpbeard in the prize shop. I can't remember if it was his card. I think it was his card. So Scarblade's that villain, so I don't know. Maybe. Let's see, what's this one? This is Shadow Usul. I kind of doubt it. I don't know. Like, the Shadow Usul is interesting because I was looking through the Advent calendar and Shadow Usul does appear in the Advent calendar, but not on the parts that are connected to the plot, to Void Within. So it's like, I don't know. It's just interesting that it's there. And it's actually the scene with... I almost want to find it. Let's see. It's the scene with it's Bruno's brother. I can't remember Bruno's brother's name from the Tale of Woe. And the cool thing is that there's a painting of Jaren in the background, and then his shadow is the shadow of the chair becomes a Shadow Usul. It's like creeping up on him or something, like haunting him. So this has to be... Oh, the 3. Oh, okay, that's cool. So these the 3. Oh, legit. Okay, legit. This is kind of what I mean. Okay, this is super cool. I'm gonna actually read this in detail. I've been skimming it. The book is both there and not there at the same time. It's hard to comprehend, so it's best not to think about it. There are not really words inside this book, but voices that speak through text. Again, it's not best not to dwell with it. I'm gonna go ahead and read this super quick here. I'm gonna pause and then get back to you guys in a sec. Okay, so yeah, actually, so this is perfect. So this actually explains absolutely perfectly what I've been trying to say with the villains. So these guys are the ones who were manipulating Cass, Lord Cass, during the events of the Defenders of Meridel plot. So this idea of these amorphous kind of um, uh, characters that represent some sort of like inner like I I'm gonna say the word sin, I guess, that causes people to turn Neopets to turn or characters to turn evil. Okay, and specifically the three represent so ambition, greed, and revenge. Okay, so ambition, greed, and revenge are the three that are represented. I'm so glad they used the three. That is so cool because I feel like of the villains, they're probably one of the most interesting because they do have this concept of this abstract concept of corruption, of sin, right? The most, I think, compared to others characters. Other characters are more blatant. The three are a little bit more vague about it, which I kind of like. And I also love their design. Their design is so cool. But yeah, they were the ones that manipulated Cass into doing evil things. Right? And it's, again, such a cool design. Okay, so that's what these characters are. Okay, so I don't know. Are they going to be involved? That would be really cool. Next one is Vira. Okay, so Vira, let's see. Almost all this book has turned gray. Bits and pieces have seemed to have the book's original color, but even as you hold it, the gray is ever so slowly creeping away at it, making it difficult to read most of the words. Okay, so again, the gray, the creepy gray. Okay, again, I'm going to skim this super quickly here. Okay, yep. Yeah, so she was like, it was, her whole thing is vanity. Darkness had turned her, she would be beautiful, get more beautiful, and she did. The darkness can be too powerful. There's no point in fighting it. She and the darkness made a deal that day. Okay, she was. If you wish to survive the coming terror, then do not impede on the darkness creeping in. I am sure you will start to feel it. Some may already know its tight grip. There's so much more at play than you think is about to happen. Let the dark take you in, or else you may regret it. You want a scary story, and oh, you're about to get one. Oh, very interesting here. Very, very interesting, right? So this idea of like some sort of darkness taking over, and I wonder if that's a reference to the gray, that's taking over everything. That's super interesting. All right, next is Xandra. Ooh, okay. So this again, I'm gonna go to pause this super quick just to read through it. Okay, so I just kind of read it real quick. So it's actually it's in the point of view of a school friend of Xandra's, right? Talking about like her doing her magic, right, and all that. So if you remember from it's kind of connected to her plot. It's actually hinting at the abilities that she was able to do. So it's interesting that again Xandra's here. That's pretty cool. So and then this is for last year, 2022. Yeah, I doubt it. This is all just See, like before, they would just be kind of random. Um, so they're like some of them are kind of random. Some of them are a little bit more detailed. So of the villains, we're seeing Darkest Fairy, Dr. Sloth, Scarblade, Shadow Usul, the Three, Vira, and Xandra, which they all kind of do connect in a way. Shadow Usul's a bit weird. Like I don't think that one's connected unless I was right and it is connected to that one advent calendar thing, which is that would be really weird if it is. Like what? But the others are connecting, kind of. Scarblade, we don't really. I haven't seen much for him yet. Sloth, as well. Like these two are just kind of iffy to me. But Darkest Fairy, sorry, I'm scrolling so much. The Three and Vira and Xandra feel like they could work. Like it feels like they match, just based on like what they're able to do and all that. So super super interesting. So this is from the trick or treating event. Okay, and then we got to Advent Calendar, which is I think probably the biggest one. So there was also dialogue that went over. Let me see if they actually reserved it. Yes, they did. Yes. Okay. So Orion, who we saw in Festival of Next, back in 2023 Festival of Next. So he popped up first there, but he seems to be a little bit more connected to this plot as of the Advent Calendar. So maybe Festival was just to kind of introduce him. So really, they've been building this plot for a while. There's been a lot of hints and teasers. So his whole thing was that he had visions. Okay. I don't know if there's anything in particular. I'm gonna just skim it real quick just to see if I catch anything. But of course, you should all, if you're interested, definitely read through it. Okay, so sorry y'all, I had to kind of move it around a little bit. I know it just suddenly jump cut like that because the editing is a little. I had to edit it real quick in order to release these videos on time. But basically, I read through it and actually it was relevant. I was kind of like, oh, was it relevant? And it is. This is relevant. So, okay, so basically the whole discussion is that Orion is having these weird visions of during the advent calendar, and he's trying to tell Reina, who is she's the one new NPC who's been showing up with advent calendar. Oh, it's kind of cutting off. Let me move it over a little bit. Yeah, here she is. Okay, I'm just moving it like this because of the way that the format of the old site is. So basically, yeah, so you all can see it better. Basically, let me go ahead and center it right here. So he's trying to stop her because he thinks that it's related to his visions and that something bad is going to happen. So he's trying to tell her like, hey, we should probably stop. She doesn't want to, obviously, because she doesn't want to stop the advent calendar, right? And actually, it's he eventually convinces her, and then he uh, broadcasts the vision out into the advent calendar so we all can see. And that's actually the comic that we're going to look at in a little bit here that is connected to Void Within directly. But here's the interesting thing. So remember how I was talking about the Shadow Uso earlier? So December 6th. The December 6th, I went ahead and looked it up on Advent Calendar, which is why I'm having the our screen like this. But if you click on it right here, okay, so here it is. So that's the animation. Okay, so this is again Bruno's brother. I can't remember his name right now. Oh my gosh. From Tale of Woe. But look at the back. So that's the Shadow Uso appearing like on the back of his chair, and the nice little hint of Jaren's portrait right here, like being possessed. And again, we know that Haunted Woods might be involved because we got the poster from on social media. The Shadow Uso appeared in the Trick or Treat 2023 bags. Okay. Jaren appears obviously because Meridel is currently gray, and he's literally on the first page of the comic. So that's like super interesting that that's going on. Now, next one, December 15th. I haven't looked at December 15th yet. Let's take a look to see if it has anything. Okay, I had to readjust it a little bit. Uh, is it supposed to be Bucci? Is this, but Bucci, like, unless it's just a baby. These are Darblats, and it's a baby Bruce. But if it's Bucci, then Bucci would have his zapper gun. I don't know. Okay, so this is kind of random. Wait, did I do day 7 by accident? Uh-oh. What day was it? It was supposed to be day 15. What? Okay, day 15. The Christmas Python. I don't know. I don't think that has anything to do with that. Okay. Let me go back. So December 26th. Let's see. Okay, so December 26th is now the comic itself, which is the day that Orion got the vision. So let's go ahead, go back to here. Let me move myself over. So we eventually get to the calendar. We eventually get to the comic for Advent Calendar here. So this is the vision that Orion got with this new character Nyx. So Nyx is in space. Looks like some sort of device broke. Okay, and it looks like Nyx is wearing some sort of like, it's like a spacesuit. I love this little backpack. It's like a little like cat capsule backpack. That's adorable for the Fae. Okay, so they crash land. I get there's like shadowy eyes here. So there's like these orbs that are, I don't know, like chasing them or something. Unless this is part of the vision, I don't know. But there's like these weird orbs here. So they crash land. Right, and there's like these creepy eyes, and those eyes kind of remind me of like Void stuff, like Wraith stuff from Void Within, from not Void Within, what is that one called? A Wraith Resurgence, right? That title's so weird. I don't know, why is it a resurgence if it's like we haven't even had that. Whatever. Anyways, so like the shadowy, it feels really wraithy, and it kind of reminds me of the current plot the look of it. Anyways, so they crash land here, and it looks like, yeah, they're trying to escape these wraithy kind of things here. Okay, now this seems really cool, and a lot of people pointed this out. If you look very carefully, see this sword right here? That is Lord Cass's sword. That is Cass's sword. Like only he has this type of sword. It's like a curved sword with that kind of handle and like the gold tip piece right there. That's Lord Cass's sword. So what is Lord Cass's sword doing here? Like, why is it here? It actually has a name too. I need to look it up, but like, yeah, it's a really important sword. So the Failey looks like is touching something here, and then I guess they get separated for a second. Oh yeah, okay, so they get separated this by some sort of tentacly beast here, and then starts attacking Nyx. Nyx escapes. It looks like they're both injured. You can see some like scarring here, and there's some sort of weird like stuff coming out of the scar here of the injury there. Oh, and then we see what it is. It's some sort of weird eldritch. I'm gonna say eldritchy kind of thing. Looks like a giant eyeball. That's crazy looking. Yeah, we've never seen anything like this, and those orbs are just everywhere. Okay, yeah. So the orbs are part of, I guess, whatever this thing is. It's surrounding this thing. Okay, and they're in the cave. They escape. Right, so they escape. And looks like Nyx took off her vest, I guess. Okay, and then I guess injuries. But look at the injuries. They're actually getting worse. Like if you look here versus here, right, you can see like it's actually getting more onto her arm there, you know. And then the Failey is just like, I don't know, I guess she healed the Failey or something. Just like something going on here. And then the Failey's going out, finds the tools, and then I guess like manages to fix something, some sort of device. But if you look at it now, it's like all purple. It's like this kind of glittery purple. So it's like it went from pink to purple, right? It's like a darker purple, and then now it's all like this, but all the scars are gone. Like there's noticeable scars, they're all gone. But manages to fix the device. And if you look at Nyx in the background, you can see the purple is spreading across up to here now. And then when the Failey puts the device on, I guess it stops it somehow. Like it actually stops it. Okay, and then she says, what did you do? I know you saved me somehow, but how could you leave me all alone? Okay. So yeah, that's interesting that it's kind of just stopping it somehow. I think it's stopping it. And then I guess when you get enveloped, I guess, do you get like possessed by the void or something like that? The void within, right? And then we see some sort of vision in the sky, some sort of like rift in the sky, and it's Bright Veil. And then we see the paintbrush, and I'm assuming this has to be Drakara or something like that, perhaps. I don't know. That doesn't look like Drakara's hand. I'm not sure, but it's that paintbrush. It's that paintbrush going for Bright Veil, which is interesting because Meridol was the first one. I don't know, but I guess Bright Veil's here. But yeah, like that's what we see here. Okay, Aesop assured us that the pet hasn't yet perished. Okay, cool. So the Failey's fine. Okay, good. The Failey's alive. The dog's alive, guys. The dog's alive. Don't worry. But yeah, that's super interesting. So I guess that's what's going on here. Some sort of weird possession thing going on. But yeah, what do you guys think? So feel free to leave comments. What do you guys think? But yeah, that's what I'm thinking it is. Some sort of like possession and things like that. There's a lot of possession if you notice the way that we're kind of talking about this. Okay, so here are the all the gray pets, all the gray, everybody's slowly turning gray. Everyone's turning gray. Even the omelet turned gray. No, not the omelet. The money tree is also gray. Trudy's surprise is turning gray. Everything's turning gray. Okay. Festival next 2024. Okay, so we got like so Kari, the neck fairy turned gray. Here she is here. It's just so sad. And Orion is back, and Orion has visions once again. And it apparently was connected to this pet, a Tuffala. Super cute, by the way. It reminds me of Toothless. It's so boopable. Look at it. It's so cute. Okay. Um, but yeah, it's like so we got this pet, and it was rampaging through like all of the things. So I don't know. Really, really interesting. So we'll see. Let's see. This was a Q&A that they did. Let's see. Our plot team has already mapped out the storyline. Let's see what they're saying. Once we get through some of the upcoming events, we will likely start giving other disciplines start working the plot. Although I don't give much resolution, I could say the next plot will be a heartfelt tale involving a certain fairy long overdue for a resolution. Okay. So a fairy long overdue for a resolution. Considering that the Darkest Fairy kind of got 2 cliffhangers in a row, I hope so. I really hope so. Okay, let's see. Battle Dome on the opposite will ensure that users who aren't big fans of the Battle Dome will get something to do during the battle-heavy sections of the plot. Yep, so we kind of got that before. A clarification that it seems like they are going to be doing stuff. And actually, they did update the Neopian hospital to kind of look a little bit different. Okay. Vira and a fairy have a third counterpart in plotting their upcoming misdeeds. So this is from the AMA. Okay, so there's a third character involved. So it's not just Vira and Drakara. There's another figure going involved. So I wonder who it is. I'm almost wondering. I'm kind of hoping it would be Darkest Fairy, but I'm also not against someone like Xandra being involved. Xandra was turned to stone though, so I don't know. Who knows? Offsite content. So this is like all of the stuff in the social media. We got all of this artwork here. Okay, so yep. Here's all of that. The diary from Baelia, the Gray Fairy, which is interesting. It's talking about getting help from a friend. This one's interesting because she says looking inside, gaining hopeful thoughts. That somehow like it has to do with one's own inner thoughts too. Okay. So yeah, that's interesting. Another thing I noticed, so like Gray kind of being sad, right? Things like that. We also see this with the posters, that this darkness creeping in, it's like very like angry kind of thing. Like there's an angry darkness aura kind of thing going on. Yeah, this is another image that we got from Altador. We can see Altador slowly turning gray in this image here. Okay, and Fairyland again, like mentioning the there's the image in the background. Mentioned that in a previous video. Yeah, so these are all the images we got. So this is the all of that. You see the arm right here, like that. Okay, so yeah, that's what we've gotten so far with the plot as far as like some of my theories go. So that's what we got like prior to the plot being released. Okay, a couple other things. So basically, the way that they're doing the plot, if you are what is it? If you you have the week to actually get the achievements and all that stuff. So if you want to be up to date with the points and the achievements, make sure that you actually do the plot by the end of the week. So it's so it seems like the plot it resets on Monday, and then you have all the way till Sunday to do it. Okay, so Monday through Sunday. So Monday is when it starts, the next part. Okay, this Monday we did not get anything. There are no updates except this one thing. We got this one from the very beginning complete all there is to do before the first week ends. I actually got it because I did finish that. I just don't know what these are because so it's Act 1. So I'm assuming it's going to continue on for a while. But we did get this one before the first week ends. I don't know about these. Gather 50 void essences, 15 unique prizes. Purchase 15 unique prizes. Well, we're just going to purchase that. And then attend a seasonal event. So, based on the image, it has to be Ultra Cup, right? So hopefully we'll be able to do that. Just by finishing that, by the way, you do get you get 10 points, and we're at 14 right now. So you actually don't have enough to get the Rift Rewarder prize, and we're not. It's not unlocking anything. It's just, I guess it's just points. I guess you'd have to get like a bunch of these items, you know, over and over and over again. I'm gonna be aiming for the where's the paintbrush? The gray paintbrush, and after that, I'm not sure what I want per se. Maybe it's some of the pet. If I can get 2, that'd be really cool. Or if not, I'm just gonna aim for the these backgrounds. These look really cool. Breathtaking night sky, things like that. Maybe the gray side bunny potion. We'll see. But yeah, that's as far as the updates go. That's what we've gotten so far. Let me actually go ahead and find the Neopian Hospital so we can see that update as well. Okay. Where is the hospital? Not the. Is it the pharmacy? Here you go. Okay, it has a link to it. It's loading a little slow. Yeah, so it actually has a new layout. So this is a different like avatar NPC here, who is front and center on the pharmacy. So it's possible this has something to do with the plot, like this update. It looks so nice. Like this is so much easier than the way it looked before. I can barely remember what it looked like before, but I know like this character wasn't the one there. Okay, so our video is getting kind of long. So that is where we're at right now with it. So those are my theories so far as what the heck is going on with it. Just based on all of the little teasers that we've gotten. So far I've been really enjoying this. I do like that they've been giving us so much extra content on the side that aren't necessarily like you would go look at it. That's super cool. That's really cool. They're adding a lot of engagement and it's a lot of fun. And yes, I do realize that all of the galaxy spaciness is very similar to my own like Sona's design and all that. So that's cool. I might have to like take a book out of their design because these void graphics look incredible. Like this looks so good. I love the way that this looks, you know, like very, very clever. I might have to get some art based on that. That's so awesome. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching, and I hope you guys don't mind all my rambling. I don't know if any of these theories are going to be working, so that'd be cool if any of this was real. Oops, my phone is going off. Yeah, so basically make sure that you finish up the plot by the end of the week so that you can get all the points. But if not, don't feel like you need to rush or anything. You can still go through and play through the plot and still get all the content and stuff like that. I just don't know if you're going to get all the points. That's all. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to predict that the next update might be tomorrow. All right, we'll see. All right, bye everyone.